Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, and we're going to talk about the herald of a new era in Dungeons & Dragons, the brand new Strixhaven book, Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition Strixhaven book. It's an incredible book, 5 out of 5 stars, and today we're going to talk about what the NPC pages, 9 specific pages in Strixhaven mean for the Dungeons & Dragons game. And some of the massive changes that are coming to Dungeons & Dragons through the Strixhaven book. All right, so let's get into this. So the Strixhaven book is truly incredible. So I'm diving in, and I did my initial sweep. And what I do when I read tabletop role-playing game books is I will sweep through the entire book and look at all the bullet points on every page, look at all the art, look at the layout, look at all the color, right, and just kind of absorb the book in a quick pass through. And then now sometimes it doesn't become quick because I'll get caught. Like I got it, like this brand new thing, I gotta read this part right now, and so sometimes it's not as fast as I would like it to be, but it's always generally pretty fast. And basically it's just it's getting to know the book. And then once I've done that, I go back and I read it through cover to cover. So I've done my initial sweep. I've read several spotlight parts to me, things that are new, things that are really unique, and then I'm going to go back and do my entire read. But I am really blown away with this book, and it's doing some incredibly new things for Dungeons & Dragons. So one of the things that struck me, that stopped me, right, and I actually read this whole entire section, is this NPC gallery, right? So the first thing that shocked me about this for a Dungeons & Dragons book is simply the real estate it takes. It's 9 solid pages, right? And what it is every single page is the same. It's 2 non-player characters on a single page. Just 2 non-player characters on a single page. 18 residents of Strixhaven. So these are all either apprentices or pledge mages, which are Strixhaven students, or they're professors, at Strixhaven, and it's really incredible. And I've really never seen, I've never seen layout like this in any Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition book, frankly, or any book from 4E, 2E, 3E, or 1E, right? So it's really unique and new, and it really very powerfully highlights these incredible characters, right? And it's just like, hey, take a look at these people. Now, the thing is, what's really interesting is it's almost all text. There's no numbers, right? There's no stats on these characters. However, there are 2 mechanical, so it's first of all, it's a gorgeous illustration, full color painting of the character. That's not a small thing, because, and we're going to talk about I'll talk about why these portraits are important in a minute. And then it's a full description saying, this is the race, this is the class, this is the college that they're aligned with, whether that's Witherbloom, Prismari, Quandrix, Lorehold, or Silverquill, right? So, and basically, and and then there's like 2 or 3 paragraphs of an equal amount of description for each non-player character, right? And then on the bottom are the mechanical hooks, right? There's a boon bond and a boon bane. And this links with a mechanical aspect of the game that says relationships in this game are mechanically tracked, right? You have friendship points, and if you ever want to, you can turn a friend into a beloved, right? Which is like a romantic relationship generally. And so basically, you have people who are rivals, who are friends, or who are beloved, right? And these are mechanically tracked, and you get mechanical disadvantages for rivals, mechanical advantages for friends, and significant mechanical benefits for beloved, right? So, and each one of these people can then end up turning out to be a rival, a friend, or a beloved, and there are mechanical displays, right? Very significant mechanical things in the rules, just like you would get with a combat or with a caster, right? These non-player characters have mechanical hooks to interact with your player character, but not from a combat perspective, but from an interactions perspective. So the new era that we're seeing is this massive shift away from combat orientation and saying, hey, we've given you these worlds, we've given you these settings, and every single one of them's got a bestiary, and we're like, hey, here's these monsters to kill, here's these obstacles to overfeed, right? But here's these monsters to kill, right? But this book says, hey, we're going to, since these are thinking beings, we're going to stat them out more than you would generally see a monster statted out, right? We're going to give that, actually, it's not more, it's different. We're going to, the mechanical is going to be a little less, and the description is going to be a little more, and the portraits are going to definitely be more evocative and more interesting, right, than you would get with a monster. And what they're saying is, hey, here's, every book before this, here's a, an area, and here's these monsters you can slay. But what if in this book, in this setting, what we're really pointing you to is these aren't creatures you can slay. These are creatures you can interact with, creatures you can collaborate with, creatures you can be inspired by, creatures you can be mentored by, creatures you can create with, creatures that you can plot with, creatures that you can compete with, right? Just a much broader array of things you can do rather than just swinging your sword at it and cutting it in half or casting a fireball and burning it to its bones, right? And it's just, and this is the deep end of the pool, right? I don't regret having some period of time devoted to the combat pillar of the game. I do think it went on too long. I think it went on for probably 2 decades too long. It went on for 47 years, and frankly, I think we're now getting to the better parts of Dungeons & Dragons, the interaction part and the exploration part, right? And I totally understand why we're here and the path we had to go to get here, but this is, we're coming out of the wasteland and we're walking into the garden. It's really incredible. And I'm just so incredibly excited about, this new turn in Dungeons & Dragons and saying, okay, combat pillar is finished, right? We have everything we need for it. Everything anybody needs to do that combat part has been very well built within 5th edition, but the rest of this is going to be exploration and interaction, or at least we're going to get more interaction and exploration. It is fascinating. And I really think that these 9 pages, and that's the other thing, it's just the amount of coverage that these non-player characters get, and each one perfectly positioned to be a friend, a beloved, a rival, right? And this new template, right? Not a stat block, but an entity block, right? Like, not saying, hey, here's what you're going to have to do to kill this thing, and here's what this thing can do to kill you, right? Stat blocks are the old Drake meme, and these entity blocks are the new Drake meme, right? Like, it's just yes, yes, more. I really am just blown away. And the other thing is, the stat block, the monster block is set. We've seen it for so long, right? And it's become highly crafted, and we know what to expect from it. And this is, saying, hey, these non-player characters, these are more important than the monsters that are in this setting, right? This is the real meat and potatoes of this setting, right? Is not destruction but creation, right? And also this idea of, hey, college is amazing, and also because these are all every single one of these is aligned with a college, right? It's really fascinating to me. I spent a lot of time in college, right? I had an incredible 4 years of college at Millersville University. It was really wonderful, and I really liked it a lot. And then I have a master's degree from University of Phoenix, and it's really it's incredible, right? And so college is really special time, right? And so for them to say, hey, these people are here in this college and they're waiting for interaction, right? And we have given you everything you need to powerfully interact with these characters, and all of the same level of detail and care and excitement that would come with monsters is now going to start to come with non-player characters, with people who inhabit these worlds and bring these worlds to life. And this is just the start, right? And I love this non-player character template, like 9 solid pages, uninterrupted, right? Every single page, 2 non-player characters, every single non-player character getting the same amount of detail in the art, every single one getting the same amount of detail in the mechanics, and every single one of them giving the same amount of detail in their actual entity specifics, right? Their being specifics. And it's really, really incredibly exciting. I'm incredibly excited about the Strixhaven book. I think it's a turning point in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition and in Dungeons & Dragons history, acknowledging we've done the combat part. We can move on to the other pillars now. We can move on to interaction and exploration. This book is so powerfully and beautifully captures what the interaction part of Dungeons & Dragons can be, that I think I'm incredibly excited about the exploration part. I think they're going to understand that, now they've done a great interaction book, let's get to the great exploration book, and I'm just excited to see what that folds out with. So I'm thrilled with this new Strixhaven book. Love to hear your thoughts. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.